I already got some designer to hold up my pants. Just want some watch so I look better when I dance or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know
it's
that
about
one.
a Rolex.
Oh.
We have to talk about The Walking Dead.
I don't know if I want to be honest about it because I'm just like,
Wait, spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Should we ask her some of our questions?
Absolutely, we should.
Welcome to What Women Binge.
We're back.
Here we are. I wanted to talk about Dolly for a moment.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of why, but on the way here I was like, I want to talk about Dolly.
Oh, because you were listening to her book.
I'm listening to the book, Run, Rose, Run. You already read it.
It's so good.
No spoilers.
I won't.
I'm way early. But the audiobook, her voice is kind of throwing me because I know it's Dolly. I know she's not Ruth Ann or whoever she's playing in that. But she wrote it with James Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
It's really cool.
And I do like that I live here in Nashville now and there's a lot of detail about, not a lot of detail, but like things about Nashville.
You can picture it better.
Yeah. Like I know what she's talking about when she says like a house in Belmead or a
Right.
Going down Broadway, you know, the honky tonks and that, and you know, and she's like, she throws out little references like someday I'm going to play the Ryman, and now I know what that is.
Yeah, and it's a big deal.
People in the rest of the country or the world might not know.
Well, she does a good job of describing it, I feel like.
But like the younger character, Anna Lee, is that her name? Or Anna?
Yeah.
Anna Lee. She says, she's like, yeah, someday I'll just play the Ryman. And I'm like, okay, I know the Ryman is the Grand Ole Opry, former home,
Yes.
historic building, blah, 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 blah.
The mother,
Before
what
I
do they
moved
call
here.
it? The mother something. Mother church.
Mother Lode. Mother church. Oh, because it was a church that then became a music
The
venue.
mother church of country music.
It's so pretty. It's actually, and it's a great
is
place
beautiful.
to listen to music.
There's a lot of really cool old pictures of the Ryman, like floating out there. There's an Instagram page that I really like, the Nashville history one. Have you ever seen it?
Not Music Shitty.
I mean,
That's a funny one too. If anybody
funny,
wants to
too.
see some funny Nashville stuff, Music
or Broadway
Shitty.
Uncensored.
Oh, I haven't seen that
Oh,
one.
it's awful.
I'll have to do that.
But now, Nashville history, they show lots of old pictures of the Ryman fairly regularly. You can see them.
Well, they do say the acoustics in there are insane. And anytime I've been to a concert there, like I saw Primus there and I saw 311 when Tim Mahoney came through and did our podcast. And the Ryman does have some spectacular acoustics. It's great, especially for something like Primus with the bass. When it's like, I love it. Oh, that's what I want to talk about, Dolly.
Oh, what about it?
I don't
All
know how
about
old
that
this-
bass. But
let's not. That's my karaoke, my last karaoke song. Let's not talk
you
about
can
that.
find it on YouTube.
Oh goodness, please don't. Please don't. We were at the Derby and I had a little too much to drink and was dragged on stage for karaoke. After I agreed to do
It was an all-star cast.
all about that
so.
bass. It was Jennifer.
It was Jennifer Robertson
Yep.
from Schitt's Creek,
Yep. Amanda Klutz.
Amanda Klutz, you.
Yeah, there were a bunch of people. We had some fun,
It
but
was very
I
fun.
do not sing and I did not know the song.
But you
That
picked it.
Was really fun. I know because I thought all about that bass. All that. You know, I knew like
Luckily,
that
there was
part.
like a lead singer to the karaoke band that
Thank goodness
saved
because
us.
yeah, I realized I was like my dress was falling off and it was not good. Yeah, go check it out, guys. Go check it out. No, but I want to talk about Dolly because I am obsessed with this song now. When we went camping, so Amanda and I went this summer and stayed in these tiny homes, camping in these tiny homes.
They're
It was
not
so
that tiny
fun.
though.
They're not that tiny, but I mean, in place of a home, it is tiny. But for camping, it's
It was
fantastic.
fantastic. I mean, I don't camp,
I know you don't. That's why I got you
but
a
I
tiny
can
home.
do tiny home.
Because there's a mattress and a toilet and air conditioning and a refrigerator. So like your food doesn't go bad. You don't have to worry about trying to keep it on ice. You know, it was all the little comforts, but also like we're all outside by a lake and by a fire pit and whatnot. But one of our friend's daughters was going to perform the song Firecracker by Dolly Parton. And I'd never heard it before. She was going to perform it at the Williamson County Fair here in Tennessee. And so she was kind of auditioning, rehearsing for us. And I never heard that song before, and it's so stuck in my. I listen to it.
Firecracker.
It makes me so happy the way it starts. It's like it's that bluesgrass, like ding 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 ding,
Banjo.
and just gets going. She's like pow pow pow, and like I just love it so much. And Tucker's like, it's annoying.
Did you
Her
just
voice
call
is
it
annoying.
Bluesgrass.
Bluegrass. I'm not from the South.
Melissa. Bluesgrass.
Okay, bluegrass. Should I say bluegrass? Is that better? Is that
Kentucky
Kentucky bluegrass. Bluegrass music. Speaking of music, I've just been working with our guest today
Yeah.
on a movie, and
I
Nora's
know.
an actress. But I didn't really realize until today what a great singer she is.
So talented.
Yeah, I was listening to some of her Spotify hits on the way over here, and should we just introduce her?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. She's very well known to all the deadheads. Are they called deadheads out there? Walking deadheads? Deadheads.
Well, deadheads are like Grateful Dead.
Deadheads are Grateful Dead. She's a walking, I would assume her fans are called the Walking Deadheads. Anyway, I made it up if not. Emily Kinney grew up in Nebraska, graduated from Nebraska Wesleyan University in 2006. She moved to New York, got started on Broadway. She did 20 plays.
Oh, my word.
In 4 years, including August Osage County, which then went on to become a big movie. And she did a play called Spring Awakening where she played a German schoolgirl. She is best known for her role on the uber-popular show The Walking Dead. She played Beth Green, who was supposed to be 16 years old, but funny fact, she was 25 at the time, kind of like me playing a teenager when I was in my 20s. But she still looks like she's 16.
She looks way younger than me, and apparently she's older than me.
She could literally still play
a teenager.
Like college, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. She's also known for her role as Brie Larvin on The Flash and Arrow. But like all the Flash, like I guess she did a ton of Flash episodes, but and then she guest starred once on Arrow. Yeah. She's guest starred on shows like Law & Order, Criminal Intent, and SVU. The Good Wife, Master of Sex, Conviction, tons of shows. She has a great music career, like we just said. She's had 5 albums so far titled Toothbrush. I love the names of her stuff. Her songs and her albums are so funny. Toothbrush, Expired Love, This Is War, Oh Jonathan, and the supporting character was her last one in 2021. And I think she's got another one coming out. She just completed work on the movie I've been directing called Santa Bootcamp, where she was the lead character, Emily, who's an event planner who's been tasked with finding the perfect Santa for her party, but ends up in the boot camp, stuck in it, run by Belle, a woman named Belle, which was played by Rita Moreno, who we already had on here. She also has a deaf mom in the movie played by Deanne Bray, who I want to talk to her about because she's fantastic. And Emily learned an extensive amount of sign language, did an awesome job with this character. So let's bring her in and ask her all about it.
Let's do it.
Come on, Emily. If your doctor can recite every line from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off but can't remember your name, it's time for a new doctor with ZocDoc.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but ZocDoc makes it easy to find quality doctors in your network and in your neighborhood.
Before you book any brunch, you pore over lists and lists of reviews, right? So why not do the same when you're booking a doctor's appointment?
Finding the right doctor is just as, if not more, important than finding the right plate of Eggs Benedict. With ZocDoc, you can see real, verified patient reviews to help you find the right doctor in your network and in your neighborhood. After all, plus, with real, verified patient reviews, you can find the right doctor for you, one that actually remembers your name.
ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them.
Go to ZocDoc.com/WWB and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours.
That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/WWB. ZocDoc.com/WWB. Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about. Where should we start? Let's see.
Well, I know you did your intro and people know how y'all know each other and what you've been working on, but like
Santa Bootcamp.
This is like fresh.
Yeah, we just got done.
We just got done late Friday.
Oh, Friday. Yeah, good, that's a good call. It was as the sun was coming up, we were finishing the movie. So I just hope you can't tell that the sun is coming up in the middle of our nighttime scene.
It'll be great.
Oh,
it was beautiful.
We got stuck with lightning storms. It was so hard.
I got to visit the set at like 3 a.m. and see you guys
trying to,
under the rain.
Trying to get scenes done in between the lightning. Yeah, it wasn't even the rain. The rain we could have worked in. It was the lightning we couldn't work. So we spent about 8 hours inside. I can't even imagine what you were doing. Like, luckily your dressing room was your hotel room, right? But that's
so I went upstairs and would chill when we'd have the breaks, but the only thing is then you have that chance to get like sleepy.
Yes.
So and it's like I don't really want to be like half asleep in the scenes once we do once we do have to wake up and do it. So I was trying to like balance between resting and not like but like also not really resting, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was if
I was downstairs it would just get
You're also all made up.
Yeah, you're all made up. So I'd be like, oh, I don't want to mess up my hair and like have to,
It was so for me, I was feeling for you guys because I know as an actor, when you do go back to your dressing room and you have all that time to chill, you do get like just get in this fog, right? This exhaustive fog. But as the director and not being able to finish the movie, we had to do our big final scene, you guys. It was like this beautiful scene of this huge Christmas party, and it's pouring rain and it's like lightning everywhere, and we just couldn't work. And it was so frustrating, but I was like shaking all night, and I'm just trying to figure out, how do I reduce my shots? What do I need exactly? When can we do this? And what, how much longer?
Yeah.
How are we going to be efficient? Get everybody down here. Here we go. And it's like, okay, we got 5 minutes left on the clock, and then another lightning strike would come, and we had to shut down for 30 more minutes.
Right.
So it was like 30 more minutes, 30 more minutes, 30 more minutes. I'm like, and like 8 hours went by where we couldn't work.
Yeah.
Insane.
I could tell you were like running on a lot of adrenaline because you were just, not in like a bad way, in like an impressive way. I was like, even when we shot that last scene, you were like on it and like giving little notes and like being very specific and like very, and my brain at that point, from being up was getting a little like foggy. I think you even mentioned like the podcast on Friday, and I was like, oh yes,
yeah.
Let me see if I remember.
It's 7 in the morning and the sun's up. How would you feel about?
Yeah, no, you were like on it. Like your brain was still firing at all cylinders, probably because you felt like you had to get everything. So I was impressed.
I was trying to like really make sure that as soon as we could to finish this movie, because we couldn't push. We couldn't go another day. We couldn't wait another night. We couldn't do it during the day. Like we had to wrap when we had to wrap. And as soon as the clouds parted and the rain stopped, here comes the sun. And I'm like, and it just makes it look not as good if you shoot it during the day. You call it day for night, and you can shoot during the day and you like color time it for night, but it doesn't look the same, especially with Christmas lights. The Christmas lights look crappy.
They don't twinkle as much.
In the day. Yeah, they don't sparkle. They just kind of like, you see the string, you see like the yellow, the white icicle strings, right? As they're not yellow. I hope it's not yellow snow, but anyway, I watched it last night and it came together really nicely, and I can't wait. People can see it sometime this Thanksgiving. I don't think we have an air date yet, but
yeah.
It's called Santa Bootcamp, and you were amazing. And
oh, thank you.
I mentioned in the opening your sign language with Deanne.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Deanne too is amazing. Like really good acting partner, I feel, and she gave me so many like
She's
little
been around
tips
forever too.
Yeah, so I felt lucky that you guys cast her because she was just she was so helpful, and
she was great to work with.
Yeah, she's great to work with, and. Yeah,
it was hard
fun
to learn sign language for this role.
Yeah, I mean, it was the hardest part is like, you can learn it like word by word, exactly what the signs are, but then there's little shortcuts that if you're actually deaf or if you're actually CODA, like a child of a deaf person or something like that, like that you learn that you wouldn't know unless you.
Right.
So that was like.
The conversational parts of it.
Yeah, or even like the order of things, just like in any other new language, just like, it's not an exact translation. So,
right.
And everything's very literal. So a lot of our game changer, I remember Deanne was like, we wouldn't say game changer because it makes it seem like there's not, like we know what that means. Oh, a game changer, like this is going to make things better. But like, a lot of things are very literal. Mm-hmm. So she was like, say like up level instead of game changer. Or like, because like it wouldn't translate.
Well, there was a word in there. Originally, there was the word zhuzhing was in there. Oh. Hey, can you go help zhuzh the front entryway or something like that? And I was like, I don't know that that's going to come off in ASL. Like maybe we should just fix that. So I wonder if game changer became what zhuzhing was. Well,
I think things are more... Some things you can get, but some things are very just, straightforward, like direct in a way. So, yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was fun. I mean, I definitely was like stressed out during sometimes just because I want to do a good job for like
it's
the deaf community.
You want to be representative of a whole group of
man,
people.
It's like, so.
And you're trying to act like you're so natural at this, but you're, obviously you're thinking, you have to think so hard on something.
I've been doing this for more than just today.
Yeah. So she practiced for weeks and weeks and also you did it with different people, and different people have different, like
different
there's slangs and.
Yeah, there's different sort of, what would you, like different.
Accents?
Dialects?
Like sort of dialects or even just like teaching styles and stuff. So, yeah, it was interesting, but really fun, too. I mean, I do find
like, show us Merry
something...
Christmas. Can you,
Merry Christmas. I feel like I know those lines.
Merry...
So, like,
I know
Christmas.
it, but I feel like I would understand it better after watching you do it. Like, I feel like I would understand it better than I
that's good.
know it. But I learned like, I had to say certain things. So I learned ready, action, cut were kind of basic. But, I learned ready, and I learned that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, like
so,
wonderful.
Yeah, it was like, and apparently if you're an older generation person, you do wonderful. You tap your hands twice, like up and down. But if you're younger, I think you put them up and then you drag them down.
Yes. Well, similar, Justin had taught me just like basically like if something is wonderful or great or whatever, like big or great opportunity or something. And then Deanne taught me the two.
The two.
You know?
So different generations.
Yeah, and I think even different places, you know, families, stuff like that.
I'm fascinated
so interesting.
by it. I think it's really nice to be able to, like, I have fans, I'm sure you do when you do like some of the Comic-Cons, like fans come up that are deaf, and the only thing I really knew was thank you.
Yeah.
But like,
me too.
And to spell my name out. Like I knew how to spell my name out, but it's nice to be able to
at least have some kind of more communication with people you normally wouldn't have. But it was also interesting to me to learn how like Deanne, and then also my coach in LA, Justin, I loved doing lessons with him because he was so present. It's almost like taking away one of the senses. Is almost making him so focused. And I would find myself feeling, you know how they'll talk about like getting in the flow? Like when you're working on a creative project and getting rid of distractions and you can kind of get into this zone. I would feel like our lessons would be like that because he was paying attention to me so close, and therefore I had to give that same kind of attention that like there'd sort of be this nice relief of like not the phones too, or not listening in this way that's very just sight and
you can't
like
look down
indication
and
based.
hear. You have to watch and
so he was so like with me, and even when I would start to say things, because I would still be talking sometimes, he'd sort of understand before I finished the sentence, and he'd be like, oh, and he knew I didn't know sign language, and somehow he found ways to communicate to me.
Well, that you know, day on set Deanne Frey played your mom. For those that don't know, like she was on a show that my in-laws, it turns out, loves called Sue Thompson FBI, like a long-running show about her being a deaf FBI agent, and how she had these lip reading skills apparently, and so she could read lips from afar. So she would help the FBI with that skill. And she was also on she was on another show for a long while. I can't remember what it was. Oh, Heroes.
I think I saw that.
Yeah. So it was and her husband won the Oscar last year for Coda. So yeah, she's been around forever. But doing those scenes with you guys, like it was a whole day of sign language, and all the crew, we all said, never been so silent on a set before. Like it was quiet all day long. It was nice and calm.
Yeah,
I felt like we could focus. I could focus. I could really pay attention to you guys and watch performance, because I couldn't just hear it. Sometimes I can hear it and look down at my script, but I had to watch. Not that I knew if you were doing it right or wrong, but to watch your face and see the performance aspect of it. And it was really nice. It was just a whole different way to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I'm kind of one of those people. There's those people that can really multitask a lot of different things, and I have realized that I can't. To the point where I just will be straight up with friends in the car like, are we talking or this sounds so intense, but I'm like, are we going to chat or are we going to listen to the radio? Because
I can't do both.
I can't do both, which sounds so nerdy to say, but it's I know it will, if I have to pay attention to driving and the music and the talking, I get a little all over the place. And I just know that about myself.
We're learning that about ourselves from having so many distractions and having so much information and having our phones and TVs on all the time. I feel like we're starting to learn to go the other way. I would leave the set. That's the only day. The day that you guys did all the sign language was the only day I drove home from work with my radio on. Because I got in the car and I'd turn it off and I'd be like, no, I don't want to hear anything after a long day of work. It's been so loud. My brain's been busy. And coming from that day, I was like, I think I'm ready for some music or news. And I just turned it on. It was really interesting.
Yeah. I was impressed on set. I felt like you were very, I really enjoyed working with you because you're very direct, but I could see all the people coming at you with different questions, and you were very good at being okay, this, okay, this, okay. I found it very impressive. I was like,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I've learned.
You're very direct in a way that is a relief. I feel.
Because I go home and my husband's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, do not ask me to make another decision today.
Yeah.
I have decided what color the backpack should be, what kinds of shoes they should wear, where we should put the camera, what kind of lighting, if the performance was good. I'm like, I am done. I am done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did have to learn early on to make decisions. Actually, I had some tough love on set, like even on Sabrina when I first started directing, of people where I'd be like, should we put the camera here? Should we do it here? And they're like, I don't know, you're the director. And it was like kind of like not collaborative, but it did teach me to go, oh, I have to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I started to I can kind of like click into that in a way now where I feel like I can wrap my head. And I think this is what I was good at as an actress was, I don't think I was a good actress, but I think that what I was good at was kind of like embodying the whole character. Like if somebody asked me a question about backstory or whatnot, I kind of had already built it even though I didn't know I did.
Yeah.
Like I kind of had who she was like already in me. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that helps me with directing, like having the whole story. Even if I don't exactly know, I kind of feel like I can figure out quickly where a story or a character or something comes from and where it goes. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in this movie, there's a few things I missed. Yeah, instinctually, I just know where it came from.
Yeah.
So in that way, I feel like that really has helped me with directing, to be able to like make those decisions.
Yeah.
The very first movie I ever did, I knew there was a backpack that was in this movie. And the first show and tell, the props guy laid out all these backpacks. Or he has a bag. He's supposed to be leaving his sister's house, but he just came from prison. So it's like, well, what kind of backpack should he have? Should he have a backpack? Should he have a duffel bag? Should he have a rolly bag?
No, he should have like a plastic bag.
Well, I was like, he should have, yeah, technically. But I was like, I feel like we need to show him like taking a walk down the street. I don't think it should be a backpack, but I think it should be like an over-the-shoulder duffel bag. But it took us 2 weeks to come up with that. And I knew when I read the script, I was like, this bag is going to be a problem. And sure enough, like 2 weeks later, we're still like, looking at other bags, like, well, what if it's this bag? And I was like, I don't care, just pick a bag. Like, I'm like, I just want someone else to pick the bag. I don't want to pick the bag. But from now on, I'm like, all right, let's just decide right now. Let's get this over with. Although I did make a mistake on Marissa. Marissa has to wear a big, she has really big hair and she wanted to wear bows the whole time. And I allowed the hairdresser was like, I want her to be in a big bow at the end. But our friend Anna had made a hat for her. And so then it became, I had already told this one to make a hat and this one to make the bow, and I couldn't decide, and I kind of let Marissa decide, but then Anna got upset and it became a thing.
Oh no.
So I was like, I couldn't decide in that one. I should have made a decision.
It's all right.
Anyway, we have to talk about The Walking Dead because that is just one of those shows that just...
It's huge.
Holy moly. I have not watched it yet, but I need to.
Oh, wow.
So tell me what someone who hasn't seen it needs to know.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is the last season. I don't know if that's this last is like the last third of the last season or something. They split up the last season into 3 parts. So this is the third part of the last season. And basically, the show is about the zombie apocalypse. However,
the zombie apocalypse.
The zombie apocalypse, yeah.
The one that we know. Yeah.
The most important of all the zombie.
Of all apocalypse.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of different zombie apocalypse movies. I know but this is the real one.
Yes, of course. This is okay,
yes,
I got it.
It's based on a comic book, graphic novel that one has finished by Robert Kirkman. And it is that. So if you're into like the horror genre, zombie stuff, it is that. However, I think one reason that a lot of people connected to it, besides people who love that kind of stuff, is it's very much about like survival and the end of the world and what's important when society has broken down. And I think there's been a lot of shows similar to that where it's sort of like, well, if we don't have any of our systems anymore, if we don't have a government that's functioning.
Ever watch Revolution? Was it like that at all?
Oh, I didn't see
this was a short-lived one, but I did kind of get into it. But I feel like I would like The Walking Dead. Like I feel like it would totally be my thing.
It is.
Yeah.
But I do shy away from the zombie stuff because even like Game of Thrones, when the White Walkers came, I kind of was like, oh, I don't know. It freaks me out.
Home for you?
Maybe.
Do you have a fear of zombies?
I mean, my son kind of looks like a Tucker. You've met Tucker.
Yeah.
He today was in the vocabulary parade and we couldn't come up with a word. He had said donkey, so I got him a donkey costume and then he got mad about that. He's like, I was kidding. That's embarrassing. So we made him Catastrophe, which we just took an old tie-dyed T-shirt and cut it up and wrote catastrophe on it in different colors and like put leaves in his hair and stuff. But he thinks he's a zombie today. So,
okay.
Even though he's Catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
But I feel like all those things, like I'm a doomsday prepper. Like I love all that like survival stuff.
Yeah, so if you like survival stuff, that's definitely an aspect of it because it's like, well, we don't have, a gas station? Where are we going to get gas from? You know, we don't have, so, you know, you see different seasons where they're like on horses and different, and kind of coming up with solutions when they don't have a hospital, they don't have, but also what happens is these new worlds sort of begin to rise up, be created.
Because kind of evolve out of the situation.
Yeah, because you still have the people who are like, well, I've got some food and I've got some power for whatever reason. So now I'm helping this group of people.
In tradeways or like old school tradeways?
Well, they got to make allies to be.
Well, allies. So
it's like Big Brother. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, what happens is the zombies sort of become in the background as kind of this ever-present threat, but they're very slow moving. They're, you know, they've figured out ways to kill them. You can kill them by shooting them or stabbing them in the head. You have to get their brain.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So,
it's the brain that makes them a zombie.
Yes. So if anyone dies, everyone's infected with this virus. And if you die, then you will reanimate as a zombie. And then the way to kill the zombie is to get them in the brain somehow.
When you kill a human, can you keep them from becoming a zombie?
Yes, if you shoot them in the head.
Oh, okay. So as long as you take out the brain, you're good.
Yes. So when I died...
Wait, spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. Right, you haven't seen it. I do die, unfortunately.
It's pretty far in, though.
I kind of figured.
Yeah. You'll get to like season 5 or so, before. But when I died, I got shot in the head. So I never became a zombie. So I do feel a little like I never got the full Walking Dead experience. But by the time that happened, I kind of didn't want to be a zombie in a way.
Yeah.
Like I sort of had been around enough. Like I remember season 2 saying to someone, I was like, I want the whole experience if I go down. I want to become a zombie. I want to like eat someone. Like I want to have to do all this crazy makeup. And then by the time it got to be my death, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to.
I'm going to move on.
Yeah, I don't want, I was like so attached to my character by then. I was like, I don't want Beth to be a zombie. And I don't want like pictures of her like zombie face. And like, I don't know. I was like,
you're protective of her.
Yeah, I was weirdly, you've played characters for like long periods of time. You start to get like weirdly like protective. Yeah, I get like
your
protective.
Children.
Yeah. So then I was like, no, Beth can never be a zombie.
So I've never read the comic books, and to be completely honest, I know the stories of The Walking Dead because everyone I know watches it, but I can't personally watch it or I will never sleep again. But I love
Amanda's very
I love the stories.
Sensitive and gentle.
And so had you read the comic books first?
I hadn't. I read them after I got the part. I remember walking to Barnes and Noble and getting them and sitting there and
looking
reading.
For yourself.
Yeah, there was no Beth in the comic book. So, but I could kind of I could read about, my Rehearsal and Maggie, who played my sister, and kind of get the vibe from some of that. So yeah, I did check them out.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So Amanda, I know that I have personally abused my hair, from curling it, straightening it, hairspraying it, over processing it with different coloring, bleaching. We've all done damage to our hair over the years. So if you're like me and struggle to have longer, thicker hair after years of damage, then you have to try Vegamour.
Vegamour has transformed my hair. Their holistic approach to hair health uses smart botanicals that promote visibly thicker, fuller, and longer looking hair.
Yeah, with help from Vegamour, you can get healthy, beautiful looking hair without the use of harmful chemicals, and all their products are cruelty-free and never contain parabens or hormones.
Vegamour has something for everyone looking to improve their hair health. The Grow Revitalizing Shampoo and Conditioner Kit works together to create visibly thicker hair and improve hair from the roots. Just massage the shampoo into your scalp for 60 seconds and then follow up with the conditioner. It's as simple as that.
Having Vegamour as my go-to shampoo and conditioner is a game changer for my overall hair health. With Vegamour, there's no risk when trying because they have a 90-day money-back guarantee. But with 91% of customers saying they saw visibly thicker hair with Vegamour in just 3 months, you won't want to run out.
Don't let the damage of the past hold your hair back. See your hair's full potential with Vegamour. Go to vegamour.com/WWB and use the code WWB to save 20% on your first order.
That's Vegamour, VEGAMOUR.com/WWB, and use our code WWB so you can save 20% at Vegamour.com/WWB. Thank you, Vegamour, for supporting What Women Binge. How was the audition process?
That audition was just 2 auditions. I did one audition for the casting director and then one audition with At the time, it was Frank Darabont was the one who created it, and it was like a Skype.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this was back in the day before that was like a normal thing. Like he was just on Skype.
Did you shoot in Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Okay, but you were living in LA.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was living in New York at the time.
Oh,
so I didn't move to LA till like 2015, 2016.
That's right, because you did a lot of Broadway.
Yes. Yeah. So that's where me and Marissa were like, we know we've taken some picture together.
Yeah.
Like
must have.
Broadway in the park or something.
Yeah.
Like I know she's so familiar to me. It might have just been that same circle of. I feel like Broadway is such a.
It's a small
like
community.
This small.
In a way.
Yeah.
Although people do kind of come in and out, but yeah.
Yeah. But even just like the Bernie Telsey office, I feel like is such a
everybody knows Bernie in New York.
Yeah.
He's one of the casting directors in New York who like does everything.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah.
Stay-at-home mom.
Alabama beauty pageant. Weather girl.
That's right.
Yes, you don't know Bernie Telsey, but
maybe you should. Maybe you should. Myself.
Maybe we'll bring you up there.
I can't tap dance, but
that's okay.
I can smile pretty.
I can sort of tap dance, although I look like a cow when I do it. But wait, so if there were like, what are the like top questions you get from Walking Dead fans? Like, what's the one thing everybody wants to know? Like I always get, are you gonna do a reboot? That's always my go-to.
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina. Or does the cat really talk? And I'm like, dude, what do you think? What do you think? Yes, we found the one cat in the world that talks.
I guess, I mean, I don't know if I want to be honest about it because I'm just like, oh God, I don't. But people it's always like, how's it working with Norman Reedus? I mean, Norman is like such a fan favorite and he is such a great actor to work with. So that's like something about him is always one of the first questions. And we had like an episode where we were like a team. So people kind of like see us as like this, or at that time it was like we were seen as like this unit. So I get asked about him a lot. And then I get a lot of just the comment, like, I cried when you died. Like, it started to become a thing. Whenever I've been on tour with my band, they started doing, if I'm at the merch table, people come up and they'll be like, oh my God, I cried when you died. And so it became like this tally thing of like, how many people are going to
make a shirt called I cried when you died?
We should have.
You really should.
We should have, or I shouldn't. Maybe I still should, because it's still probably the top thing.
Yeah.
The next album.
Someone
I cried when Beth died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think, there's such a, that's like the main thing. Are you going to come back, as like a something?
Not a zombie, but a ghost.
Are you in the 3-parter ending?
I don't think so. No.
That'd be fun. I do want to see you as a zombie now.
Yeah,
although that must be hard to play a zombie.
Yeah, but I think, it's all about the makeup. So I don't know.
Drag your foot.
You just kind of. Yeah, I guess there's some zombie school the main ones go to.
I did see something on TikTok. I think there was an audition process where there's like 3 cast characters standing there, and there's all people walking around doing zombie stuff.
Yeah,
I think it was that audition.
You gotta like drop your jaw and look out the top.
Yeah,
of your eyes.
Yeah, because you can't move too fast, and it's sort of like it's a very specific kind of zombie that's on Walking Dead. So
that is so.
So they're all the same. All the zombies move kind of the same. Like it's all very
it's kind of just
uniform.
like a dragging of the feet, like almost like you're sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And usually one head is sort of like, because the idea is that like the body is still dead. It's just sort of like the brain is like
you're dragging it along.
You're dragging your body along and searching for food.
I like it. The only zombie thing I think I've really watched, and I don't even know if they're zombies, it's Maze Runner. They're infected. I think it's sort of an idea of that. Like, they're infected and when they scratch, they infect others.
Oh, I see.
But it's something to do.
Why don't I remember that movie?
Maze Runner is crazy. You can't tell him. No, you cannot watch it. Not yet. Maybe when Riker's a little bit older.
Any scary.
So no, my brain, like you could tell me a story and my brain would just animate it to the extreme.
Okay.
So if I see it, then my brain is just like, and just takes it so far that I will dream about it for the next year.
Yeah.
So I just avoid.
Yeah, you're not ready for Maze Runner, that's for sure. But
I've
Walking
definitely
Dead, I don't know.
more.
I want to watch it, especially with. I wonder if Tucker would like it. Is it too? He likes Stranger Things.
How old is he?
He's 9, but he loves Stranger Things. Is like his favorite.
He might like it. I feel like season there's some really scary, sad moments. Because that's the thing is it is very, as much as it's like kind of like horror genre, it's very like humanity and what kind of choices you make. And like there is a one point where he like kills a zombie kid and like, you know, there's like some kind of intense, I would say maybe wait like a couple more years.
Okay.
Although, you know, conventions, I'll meet like these little kids. So I think it depends on if he likes Stranger I feel like it's a little scary.
But I think the thing with Stranger Things,
darker.
I was literally thinking about this morning. Like, what else can I show him that's like Stranger Things but appropriate? And I was thinking about The Walking Dead, but I think what he likes about Stranger Things is those kids are supposed to be about his age. So he likes that they're like riding their bikes and playing Dungeons and Dragons and like doing things that he technically does, but then with this element of like having to save the world.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there is like Carl, and he gets some of his own like episodes, and he's like a younger kid.
All right, so maybe we'll watch. We might check it out. We might check out a few.
See how
maybe you watch it first.
Maybe you watch some of it first. I would say up until there's a part in season. I think it's season 3 or season. I would say like you can watch it up into a certain point, and then it does get a little too bloody. Okay. Like even me watching it, I was like, "Dang, okay." Like they're really not that they weren't going for it in season 1, season 2, but I feel like it's a little more like humanity scary, not just like straight up like blood slitting through, you know.
Okay.
And then you get to like I think it's like season 3 or season 4. I remember one specific episode where I was like, okay, now it's really horror genre.
Like do you watch Game of Thrones? Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I only watched the first 4 episodes.
Oh.
Because I don't know why, but when they pushed that, I think that might have even been the first episode where they pushed the person out of the...
Yes, it's the very first one.
I think
the little
it
boy.
was the first one. I remember that, and I was like... And I kept watching it because I was like kind of watching
and the
with
incest
my friend.
In the first... They pushed him out the window because of the incest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I was like, not right now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you just reminded me when you said like in a few seasons, there's a few episodes like in Game of Thrones, it's like the Red Wedding or the Battle of the Bastards. There's like these episodes that everyone warned me about when I was watching it through for the first time. And, you know, once you see it, you're like, oh, that episode. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Red Wedding is just
Are you
gruesome.
like a horror fan?
You know what? When I was a kid, I watched, and it's surprising to me because I do feel like I'm a very sensitive person to like violence, but I never liked as a kid, I never liked like Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan. Like when my dad would watch those shows, I couldn't handle that. But I used to love like Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like I loved
like slasher films.
Yeah, but where there was some sort of like it felt
funny.
like more like this weird like, but like it almost felt like not reality, right. More of like, or what was the one where I keep wanting to say Edward Scissorhands. What's the one with Robert Englund is the
Freddie.
I used to rent
Nightmare
those in the
Street.
summer. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. I used to rent those in the summer and watch them with my friends at their house, like just in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, those were like the classic horror films that I feel like we all watched.
Like
as
Texas
kids.
Chainsaw Massacre was a go-to at sleepovers when I was little, but like I won't watch it now.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think we could it wasn't reality to us.
Yeah.
As long as it was a sleepover and everyone was together, I feel like I could never watch those things by myself. But like, I always had a lot of siblings around me too, so we could watch it together and then all like at night freak each other out, you know, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I used to like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh. I was on one of those.
You were? I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah. And I do remember it was Snick, so I remember like Clarissa sometimes was on there.
It just came back actually. Are You Afraid of the Dark just came back.
We haven't watched it yet. We need to watch it.
I know.
One.
But
that's what I should show Tucker. That's appropriate.
That's actually so. And Midnight Society. I loved
the Goosebumps movies.
Yes.
That were like
Goosebumps
in the show when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love those.
The books too. The Goosebumps books and those. So that I used to love. But then as an adult, or maybe like our news is just really scary now. I'm like.
You're like realizing
droughts and floods
this could actually happen.
Probably zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse is probably coming soon.
Yeah.
Well, we have to ask you, what are you into? Like, what do you watch? What do you like get all caught up in?
Yeah, I mean, I have my more recently I did binge the Rehearsal, which it's only like 6 or so episodes. It's nonfiction. It's like reality. But basically, it's this guy, Nathan. He had a show called Nathan for You, I think is what it's called. Anyway, he had a show before this. He's a comedian. But the concept of the show is I'm going to help people if they have something big coming up, like a conversation with their sister that's really important or kind of scary or about, whatever. I'm going to rehearse it with them, and I'm going to set up the exact circumstances, but to the extreme. Like the first episode is him setting up this conversation for this guy, and it's supposed to be at this bar, and he's like, well, I'll probably have the conversation at this bar. So he recreates a whole bar. Like it gets a little bit silly, right? It gets like he has this whole sound stage where he's built this like fake bar, and he hires actors to play the woman that
he's going to talk to?
It just gets very, yes. So that's like...
Is it goofy or is it like sad or...
It feels goofy at first. It feels like this guy has a lot of money and he's just recreating and hiring these actors. And it's like... And the actor will even like pretend to be someone to get to know the real person so that she acts it right.
Oh my gosh.
So like these really intense, elaborate rehearsals. So the first episode like sets that up. But then in like the second and third episode, it starts to get a little like weirder. And it starts out with him trying to help this woman. I know I'm going really deep into this, but I was like deep into this show. And to help this woman rehearse what it would be like to be a parent.
Oh, wow.
And that one starts, and then he decides he would also like to rehearse to be a parent. And then he starts to, when he has issues with the woman, he starts to be like, I need to rehearse my conversation I'm going to have with her. So you start having these multiple rehearsals to then be ready for the rehearsal. And it starts to just, and then he's also rehearsing with these kids who are actors, so child actors. And one of the child actors becomes really attached to him, and like
it's like meta or something.
It's and it starts to just get like a little bit like weirder and weirder and weirder. And you start to wonder which is this all a joke or is this?
Did they show the actual payoff? Did they show the actual conversation that they rehearse?
They do in like the first episode. So it's almost like they're trying to set you up like this is what the show is. Oh. But then the second one, it's like it doesn't go as planned. It starts like, and it becomes a much longer
so weird
thing. And
what is this
sometimes this is on HBO Max.
Okay.
It sounds like it's so interesting when you get caught up in it. And it's like just...
Would you say it's scripted or non-scripted?
Non-scripted, but there's lots of actors involved to play these people. So you're watching sometimes these...
I can't believe I haven't heard this.
No.
Bizarre.
This is the first I've ever heard.
And he'll go to the extreme of like, oh, you planted a garden and then he'll have people at night come in and like put in vegetables into the garden so that then they can pick them. Like they're very elaborate...
Wow.
Elaborate fake world kind of things.
I wonder what the budget was on something like that.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Wild.
But it goes into a lot of like cool conversations too. Like the woman is Christian and he's Jewish. So at one point he's like, oh, but I need to say maybe we can also raise our kid Jewish too or Christian. So it gets into some really cool like conversations about that because then she also makes points about like, well, no, I wouldn't do that because blah, blah, blah. Or, like so it's just... Yeah. It's
fascinating.
Fascinating. Like, if you like that kind of stuff.
Going on the list.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and you can definitely, like, I think it's
only...
Is
it stressful?
Only at the end. Because you get a little, like, I want this to follow through. And you'll see. I mean... Do
you remember how many episodes it is? Is it like
I think it's like 6 or 7.
Okay.
It's short, but there's supposed to be a second season, and they kind of leave it a little unsatisfying. So that's my only...
I hate that.
And the last...
I love it and I hate it.
It gets a little weird where you're like, is this okay to be doing this? Like it gets a little bit off. Okay. All right. I feel.
All right. I'm hooked. You got me.
Yeah.
Watching the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Cool. What about have either of you seen Surface? The show Surface on Apple TV?
No.
I don't know. I saw an ad for it the other day and I just got fascinated with that. And there's a few Apple shows. I never really wanted to watch an Apple show other than like Ted Lasso. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden there's a few on there that I just started looking at the trailers and I'm like, I just added them all to a list. I'm like, all right, I got to start watching these. I just feel like I'm so far behind.
To the land of being able to watch things again. The kids are back in school.
Oh, I know.
About to be nighttime
at
a normal hour.
Time. Yeah. My kids have been like, it's summertime, up all night, eating cookies. And I'm like, and I was just like too tired to fight them. But now it's like, all right, in bed structure, here we go. Mark and I were in bed at like 9:30 last night trying to finish up Lost. I've been watching Lost all year.
Wow.
These network shows that actually were so long and the seasons were so long. I am having the hardest time getting through. I mean, I love it, but it's like it literally took me a whole year to watch this show.
Right. And it's like 24. Is it like one of those shows where it's 24 episodes? I remember
each
watching
like 45 minutes. Yeah. So it's a lot. And then my husband, he falls asleep before me, but last night I was like, just holding the eyes open, like, I gotta watch it. I gotta get through this.
Well, you were talking about Apple shows, and we tried to watch one called Loot.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to watch that one.
Okay, so what's her name? She used to be on SNL.
Yeah. It's
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Beautiful in it.
She plays a billionaire heiress. It's basically Bezos' wife, right? Like
basically.
Yeah.
And so she's married to some billionaire. They end up separating. And it's her trying to find like fulfillment in life after this, but she doesn't really have an anchor to reality.
Oh, they didn't launch it like that.
Well, I mean, it's her looking for that. So you're just kind of watching her be
she figures out she has a foundation. Like she gets divorced with billions of dollars, like $87 billion or something.
And so there's a foundation.
She finds out she has a foundation, so she goes to run it, right? And then
but she just kind of.
So I haven't seen
clueless as to what they actually do and how to actually help these people other than financing.
But she has a good heart.
She has a good heart.
She's just shallow.
Yes, very.
I think the whole thing is what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out what the Ted Lasso recipe is, right?
Well, this isn't it. Right.
Now,
this is not.
See, they're trying to do like good, heartwarming, but funny.
Yes, and we watched 2 or 3 episodes so far.
Really?
And I really like the first one. I was like, okay, I like this. This is a good print. We're going somewhere with this. And the second one, I'm like, oh.
They did a good pilot and then they busted it.
Well, and it's just so unrelatable to most people. And you don't necessarily, like, you're supposed to feel kind of sympathetic for her.
But you can't.
But at the end of the day, she's in like this room surrounded by Birkin bags and
all her candy. I saw like a candy room.
The candy room. Yeah.
She has a candy room where she goes to cry.
Yeah. And you're like, okay. I mean, I would love to have a candy room.
She's just fine.
Don't get me wrong. If I was in her position, I might have one too.
A candy room. It would cause so many problems.
I wouldn't expect anyone to feel sorry for me while I cried in a puddle in my candy room.
Oh my gosh.
So that one was hard. And my husband is obsessed with Mythic Quest.
Oh yeah, that's funny, right? That's what is that?
It's funny. It's another Apple show.
Okay, is that Rob McElhenney? Is that how you say it? Or is it? It's one of the guys from Always Sunny.
Yeah, it's him, and it's fine. It's funny. It's cute. It's like nerd humor, which is right up his alley.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I would like that one too. It's like they work at a video gaming.
Yes, it just moves very slowly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did try to watch the first one, and I had a hard time
Logan would disagree. He thinks it's the greatest show made in a long time.
He loves geek culture.
He loves geek culture.
Yeah, that's his thing.
So I had a really fun idea.
Yeah.
You know how we're selling merch now?
Yes, we are, guys. Check it out. WhatWomenBinge.com. You can check out our merch.
So I got you something.
You did?
Here it is.
Oh, it's a hoodie. I like your hoodie.
I like your hoodie.
I like your hoodie. It's going to be a community of people. I like your hoodies.
So now, when we see our fellow hoodie wearing,
our fellow bingers
listening,
our bingers.
Bingers. Do we have a fan club now?
We have bingers, I guess. Do we have bingers, guys? We need a little review out there. Go on our podcast and review us and tell us if you think bingers is the right name for peeps out there.
And while you're doing it, go to whatwomenbinge.com, go shopping, and get your I like your hoodie.
Yes, everyone needs an I like your hoodie because then when you're on the street, you'll say, I like your hoodie.
There you go.
You know what I want to do, Amanda?
What?
I want to have better gut health.
Don't we all?
Like, as we get older, gut health is so important.
Regularity.
Yes, all that stuff. I mean, it just makes life so much better, right? Yes. You know what you can use for good gut health?
Well, I assume you're going to say AG1.
AG1.
Girl, we are living that AG1 life.
You knew it. 1 scoop of delicious AG1. You just put it in your water. You get your veggie drink. You get 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. Start your day right.
And the special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, but also your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging.
I want all that.
All the things.
All the things. I love it so much.
It's been pretty great.
It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, and it tastes really good.
And that's what's so shocking, because these green drinks typically do not taste good.
Oh, and this one does.
AG1 is delicious.
And I love that the founder, he created Athletic Greens after experiencing how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on your own.
And the coolest thing for me is that this subscription comes with a year's supply of vitamin D. And it's so important, especially in those winter months for everyone.
Yeah,
vitamin
people
D,
that don't get enough sunlight.
You don't get enough sunlight, and it
Vitamin D.
really helps. That's a big part for me.
So right now, it is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements just to look out for your health.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WWB.
Again, that's athleticgreens.com/WWB to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And guys, if you support our sponsors, then our sponsors keep supporting us and we can keep putting out What Women Binge. Should we ask her some of our questions?
Yeah, absolutely, we should.
Guys, I don't have my glasses on.
Uh-oh.
I'm just getting old. All right, we ask everybody these questions. So
Okay.
But no pressure.
Okay.
If you could live life as any character in any book, show, or movie, who would it be?
Okay, I wouldn't like to live. Okay, can I pick? Okay.
You can do however you want. If you want multiple, you can pick multiple.
Sorry, this is
Should we come back to it?
Wait, let's come back to it. Well, you know what I immediately think of is I think of weird, interesting lives that I'm it'd be fun to live like that because I can't. Have you ever read that book, My Year of Rest and Relaxation?
No.
The main character is just the most. It's just the weirdest, most awful person, but you can't put the book down. And I've always thought it'd be a cool movie, but there's something about sometimes I'm there's something about that I was I'd like to experience this way of living or something. She's just kind of she works at this art studio, and basically it's about her falling asleep, and I just want a lot of rest.
Yes,
that's what
I would like to sleep through my life.
Our movie, I get it.
No, I don't know why that came to mind, but that's where it came to mind. I don't know if
But like you said, that's true. Wanting to live in different experiences, too, is an interesting way to go.
Exploring a different.
Ooh, she should read Addie LaRue.
Oh,
she's obsessed with this book called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and she gets to live lots of lives.
Yeah.
It is so good. It is so good.
All right, cool.
And then after you read it, listen to our book club episode where we talk about it quite a bit extensively.
It's a long read, but it
is. The audiobook's great too. I think I did it at double time just to get through it because it's long, but
it's like a 16-hour.
It's a little not slow. The beginning's great. In the middle, you're kind of okay, it's almost repeating.
Yeah,
but it really pays off well.
Oh, nice.
Definitely highly recommended. If you had to pick a genre to describe your life, what would it be? Adventure, romance, horror.
No, I know. Yeah, maybe I want to say, coming of age.
There you go. That's a good all-around
constantly. Yeah, I feel even as I get older, I'm sort of oh, now this is a new chapter. Now I'm really,
blossoming.
Yeah, coming of age, different
like
chapters of that. Yeah,
that's a good one. If you could choose any actor or actress to play you in your life story, who would you pick? Well, I kept calling you Candace on set.
I know, it seems like she should
Candace
play me.
King, but you guys are the same age, exactly the same age.
Yeah, and then someone was saying we even have tattoos at the exact same place.
That's kind of strange, actually.
Yeah.
You guys do favor each other.
They're very similar in a lot of ways.
Lots.
It freaked me out a little bit.
Is she into music and stuff too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she lives here.
Yeah, she can sing.
She was married to a musician.
Yeah,
but,
so it seems like she should play me.
I know.
Or I think of
McKenna Grace.
Yeah.
McKenna. I just love McKenna.
I do too.
She's just a little sweetheart. That little thing.
See, I see she's way older than you, but Kate Blanchett,
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but you gotta find
Claire Danes.
Oh my God, Claire Danes. Yeah, would be great. I actually, I loved My So-Called Life. And when I was a kid and wanting to be an actor, I remember like loving her performance in My So-Called Life. And you know how there was all these like stops and she'd be like how she would talk made me feel, I don't know, seen.
Yeah.
Not that I talked like that, but I just, the way that she'd like think before she talked about things, or like even Dawson's Creek didn't really do it, but they did a similar thing where they sort of analyzed the moves that they were making before they'd make them. And I think that I really liked that. But yeah, I love
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams is so good too. Yeah. Yeah.
In your opinion, what's the best TV theme song?
DuckTales. Yeah. Yeah, I actually recorded that as a kid because I was really into, just acting out things I saw on TV. So I would record DuckTales, memorize it, and then perform it.
Oh,
so
wow.
I feel like that was one that...
In front of the family, like Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah. Also, I liked Step by Step.
Oh,
was a good one.
I don't know that one.
Step by step, day by day. Yeah.
And
then Full House, of course.
You guys are the same age. You guys are 9 years younger than me. So that show was a little... Well, I think it was on when I was on TV, so I never watched TV back then.
No. I can't remember all the... Something better the second time around.
What's the hardest part of your job? Night shoots in the rain, waiting for lightning?
I think the hardest part is... I mean, this is probably true for a lot of jobs, but like there are aspects that you have to, like, you can't control, like you can't shape or control. Like it goes a lot on faith and trust. Like you probably know this, like as far as like, ooh, what's the next thing you want to do? And you have some choice, but you also, it's collaborative. I mean, it has to fit into someone's bigger picture. Yeah. So no matter how much you try to shape, you kind of have to just
go with the flow.
Yeah. In some ways, though, that can be also like, it can also teach you, though, things about, I guess, ego and trying to control.
Yeah.
So it also can teach you a lot, I think, about just being like, about trust.
Well, I think the thing with actors, musicians, artists in general is you get really good at rejection.
Yes.
So the ones that stick it out are the ones that are good at rejection, accepting rejection.
And I've even said that now at this point, like now, even if I'm like saying, hey, I'd like to do this, or do you, it's like, I don't really, what are you going to say? No?
Yeah.
like, what's the word?
I can take it. Come on.
If I talk to other people and I'm like, oh, just go for it, do this, it's like, oh, well, like the idea of like someone being like, no, is sort of like, okay. Like, right, next thing, you know what I mean? Not that it doesn't still like affect me in a really, especially if it's like a project I really wanted or
certain things,
something
right?
like certain things, it still really affects me. But I guess the idea that no has something to do with my actual worth.
You kind of just like flip the track, like the way like a train will be on one track, and you like, and they pull that handle or whatever, that lever, and like it literally, you change tracks, like.
Yes.
You're sort of like, okay, new direction.
Yeah. And you get good at it, but it does sometimes still probably.
Certain things sting.
Certain things still, or like, you know, I mean, yeah, I'll still have my moments where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be sad about that one for a while.
So what's something that stung that sticks with you?
I don't know. Maybe now I've let them all go.
That's maybe good.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. I mean, I think during the pandemic was probably the hardest. I would say splitting from one of my managers, my very first acting manager, was one that kind of was a hard one for me.
Because that's kind of something that y'all,
it's personal.
all actors,
it feels
have to deal
very
with,
like
right?
personal. Yeah. So that one,
it's like a breakup.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, I'm like, but I remember that one affected me for a while, because it's like, it is like so personal, but yet at the same time it's business. See you later. You know what? I don't like, it's hard because art, like making this stuff becomes personal. However, it is still a business. So when things aren't working, you move on, or when things, you know.
Yeah.
And that one was
Do you have a favorite joke?
Favorite
It seems to
joke.
be a hard one, though, I think.
Everybody's like, oh gosh.
I don't know if
I
we've
was
gotten
already
a joke
having
yet.
a hard one. The first one.
Rita said with the joke that I think Rita was like, yeah, but none I can say
I
here
can't
or
say it.
something. Yeah.
Okay, my boyfriend does this one and he keeps doing it and like keeps thinking that, but it's like you subtly say like, oh, did you hear about the CDC just tweeted that like, you know, there's going to be the new but-for virus is like causing a lot of problems or whatever, right? So then someone says, the what? And you say the but-for virus, but-for. And then you get the person to say, what's a but-for?
That's my 9-year actually.
So he like constantly does this joke, but in different forms.
So he's
right.
10.
So like you could say the tweet about the CDC, or you could just be like, oh, that but-for's annoying me, or that whatever.
What's a but-for?
Just whatever you can do to get the person to say, what's a but-for? So now I just like, what's a but-for? You know?
You just go straight to it.
I'm like,
That's my Tucker's decided all these different ways to get someone to say these balls. So I'm still, this is like what my 9-year-old does now, and everything he says, whenever he says a joke, now I just go these balls. Are we talking about these
Tell me
nuts
you
or
have
these balls?
teenage
Like, what
brothers.
yeah, without telling me you have teenage brothers. Exactly. Yeah. Are you kidding? My 16-year-old would never make nut jokes, but my 9-year-old sure will.
yeah.
So, different personalities. What movie, show, or channel do you turn on just to tune out?
Yeah, either probably like the Bravo shows. Like
Oh, really?
I will totally watch. Like I don't really get into the Housewives, but the Summer House one. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I can just turn it on, and it's just sort of like
It's brainless.
Wait, is this what Love Island? It turns out my 16-year-old's really into Love Island. He's been watching it with my babysitter.
it's not
Have you seen
Love.
this one? I'm confused about it.
It's not Love Island. It's called Summer House, but then now they have like Winter House,
The Spring House
and it's
Autumn
literally
House.
just like these people that live in New York and they hang out on the weekend in their summer house.
in the Hamptons,
in the
right?
Hamptons, yeah. And
So it's not
they
just-
get in fights and they like
It's
they have cool outfits.
real world.
Sometimes, you know, it's the real world, but like a little bit,
but like Kardashian.
but a little
version.
more, yeah. Like it's yeah.
It's bougie real world.
it's like a
Bougie
bougie
real world. I like it.
Yeah.
If this week was a book title, what would it be?
Book title.
Amanda, what would yours be?
This week,
You wrote this question, so I want to know what would your weekly book title? What would this week's? Book
I'm out of hot glue.
Oh, because this vocabulary parade I was talking about. This one made 3 like homemade costumes for her 3 kids in like the most amazing way. One is a clam that opens and shuts.
Wow.
One's a mountain, and one's something I don't even
Tardigrade.
tardigrade.
Which we found out this morning is
An
apparently
amoeba?
the world's strongest animal. It's a microscopic water animal.
And her son wanted to be a tardigrade, so she had to make that costume for him this morning. It's not even Halloween yet.
It kind of looks like a turd with 8 hands.
Yes, it does. And a weird looking mouth on its head.
Like a manatee.
What made him even know? Was it like they studied it in science class or something?
I told him about it.
Oh, okay.
She's obsessed
It's
with
my
little
own
cute,
fault.
ugly animals. She thinks they're
so
cute. I think they're ugly. She
Well, they're
loves
called
all
water
ugly
bears.
things.
It's kind of like, okay, if a gummy bear was stuck on top of a gummy bear and it lived in the water with a manatee face. That's kind of what it looks like.
Gross. I'm sorry. Those are all gross things except gummy bears. This is weird. But that's what he wanted to be. It's brilliant.
Or,
and
yeah,
she
like a bad guy
literally-
from Stranger Things. It looks like it could come out of the upside down.
Yes, it does. It really does. But that's what she built
been
these
building.
costumes this week, so that's why her
Yes.
book would be
So I'm out of hot
Wow.
I'm out of hot glue.
glue.
That's awesome. I've just been like after the movie resting this week. Something about resting in Nashville chilling.
What was that other book
Brentwood?
you said?
Oh, wait.
Year of rest.
A year of
Yeah,
relaxation?
we're back to the book. My year of rest and
A week of
relaxation.
My week of rest and relaxation. I
Yeah.
like it. That's hard to say,
My
by the
week
way.
of rest.
Friday
and
day is over.
relaxation.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I like anything Journey. So like When the Lights Go Down in the City. I don't even know what the name of that song is. I think that one's a good one. Or like Britney Spears. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
always
Oh, I bet you can rock that.
Like which Britney Spears? Like,
Like,
Toxic? Or are we talking about like earlier?
like
Me,
Lucky.
Baby.
I feel
Oh,
like
Lucky.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Okay.
I've never even thought about
Actually, you know what? I was listening to your music. It's so great. And well, first of all, Be Good? Is that?
Yes.
That one reminded me a lot of like Mazzy Star. Do you know who Mazzy Star is?
Yeah, that makes me happy because when I was doing that album, I was like sending Mazzy Star stuff to my producer at the time.
I loved it, and it totally was like, this is Mazzy Star, and then I was like, no, this is Emily. And then I was listening to Birthday Cake on the way here, and it there was a line about share my life, share my name. Is that Birthday Cake?
Yeah.
I loved that sentiment of like share a name, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I never thought about it that way. We always say we take his name. But I never thought about it as like
We're sharing our
name. And I was like, well, I'm going to write that in his next love letter, but I have to give you credit.
Okay. Looking at it as, you're right, like, oh, no, we're just sharing everything, not like taking.
I love those lyrics. Those were great. And your
thank
voice
you.
is beautiful. I had no idea.
Thank you.
But yeah, so your karaoke, so I could hear you singing Lucky, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Although I think I'd like to hear a little Hit Me one more time.
Yeah. Classic.
What's a line from a show, movie, book, or your favorite line that you'll never forget that like goes with you everywhere?
Oh my goodness. There's so many, but one of my favorite movies is True Romance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just love like, you know, the opening of the like, you're so cool. And then like, I love when she's on the rooftop and like yelling at Christian Slater. Like, I'm not what is that? I don't know why that'd stick with me, but I guess like that movie's just as
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
What is she yelling off the roof?
She's yelling like, she's like, I'm not a hooker, I'm a call girl.
Oh.
And there's a difference. And then she's basically like, I'm going to tell you something and, you know, you can tell me to go back. I'm not saying the right lines, but you can tell me to go back to wherever. But basically she says like that she loves him. And it's this whole like really beautiful speech on the rooftop about how like, you know, I never met anyone who liked the same shows as me, blah, blah, blah. Or he says back to her like, oh, I never met a girl who liked the same shows as me. And like,
I forgot about that movie. It's so
good.
It's Quentin Tarantino, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
That's
I love all his
one.
stuff. Yeah, I'm a big Tarantino fan. All right, well, you want to do some this or that?
Show thing.
Do it.
All right. These are easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hero or villain?
Hero. It's just like what we prefer.
Yeah.
Hero.
Plans or surprises?
Plans.
Caffeine or alcohol?
Caffeine.
That was quick.
Chocolate or fruity?
Chocolate.
Dress up or keep it casual?
Dress up.
Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Fizzy or flat?
Flat.
Morning or night owl?
Morning.
Righty or lefty?
Righty, but I'm slightly ambidextrous. So sometimes I do things with my left hand. People are like, I thought you were right-handed. So
That's super cool. My son is too.
Like what? Like play guitar or something? Like what do you do less?
yeah, or like even when I was learning like when I was little, I did used to write with both hands. But then when we learned cursive in 3rd grade, I had to pick right. So then I became more right-handed. But sometimes, yeah, I'll find
that your left
like
is more dominant.
Yeah, because like even when I was learning the sign language,
Oh yeah.
they were like, "Oh, you're using your left hand to your right, but that's okay if that's your done." And I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's
well,
right. They kept
feels
asking you
more,
that.
yeah, it feels more natural to go this way." So there's obviously some like,
Yeah, that's interesting.
Cool.
I remember them saying that.
All right, staycation or vacation?
I want to say staycation, but after the last 2.5, 3 years,
Get me out of here.
maybe I'm like vacation. Yeah, I thought I was a staycation person because I love just
The world has changed. It's okay for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now maybe I want the thing you can't have as easy or it
Yeah.
doesn't seem
Yeah,
I
that
took
makes
for
sense.
granted or
See the world. Well, we just got to check your phone and see if you're more my kind of person or Amanda's kind
Okay.
of person.
Oh God, I don't even know where we're at right now.
I think I'm really good, you guys. Oh, it went up a little bit since we've been here.
Oh, wait, what are we looking at?
How many unread emails do you have?
Oh no. But this is stuff that's my unread emails are 2,328.
She's Team Amanda.
Is that how
we have the same manager. Are a lot of them from him?
And then my unread
What is your
texts are 106.
Oh, no, she's Team Candace. They're more alike than we even thought.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this is stuff that I didn't need to answer.
Is it stuff you need to unsubscribe from?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
So,
and yeah.
I'm at 8,850 currently.
I'm at 61, but I was at like 48 this morning, you guys. I was really proud I was under 50.
But my texts are only at 3. So
See, mine are at 8.
How many missed calls
But I have
do you
17 band notices. We have this thing called Band, which is the weirdest name for something, but it's like a school app. And so it's like where all my kids' football stuff goes and some of their school stuff goes. And I have 17 freaking messages on Band.
What about your missed calls?
I just missed one while we were sitting here. I think it's my kid's dentist.
I'm at
I have one.
184.
What?
No.
Don't tell me you're on top of stuff if you have 184 calls you did not take.
See, I don't have any. I don't have any.
Text me.
Give me that. You don't have any what?
I don't have any. Is it missed calls? Like I don't have any calls in the last.
I know. Yeah, she's got.
Holy cow!
I don't even understand, Amanda.
Maybe it's voicemails. Is it voicemails?
Yes.
Oh, see, I'm good about cleaning up my.
I don't even understand. Well, yeah, a lot of them are the same place. Maybe just delete those. But like, I don't even understand. No, I don't even have any missed phone messages that I've. No, I can't. She makes me crazy.
I wish I could just start over. I
know, right? I've thought about it. Like, just delete my email address and just see who finds me.
Logan and I have gone back and forth about changing our phone numbers. We've had the same phone numbers for like.
Do you know what's so easy to do? Like, at least in the iPhone, like I had to change it a few years ago because mine accidentally ended up on my Instagram page, and I started getting like WhatsApps and FaceTimes and text messages. It was bad, and I was about to start directing a movie, and I needed to like be able to focus and not worry if I was missing an important phone call or if it was a random fan. So I had to change it, but I was really nervous, and I laid in bed at night, and it's super easy actually. You just like go into there's some setting. And you go in and you like pick your area code, then you pick your 3 digits, then you pick your 4 digits, and like you literally get to pick the number all along. And I didn't know because I kept stopping at every level thinking the next level will mean I've got a new number. But I got to basically pick my phone number and like and you get to like I got to pick the day that it would go into action. So I had like 2 weeks to kind of stop to tell everybody the new number. It's kind of nice actually. It's a little freeing to say. I picked like a random area code. I'm like now from like Saskatchewan or something. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Well, you've got to put a secret in our jar, but thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It was really
fun. I've loved getting to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Before we go, though, y'all tell everybody where to find Santa Bootcamp.
Bootcamp. You go ahead.
Oh, I'm not sure. Lifetime?
It's
like, where's
I don't know.
this movie playing?
Direct me.
I'm pretty sure Lifetime around Christmas.
Lifetime around. Actually, I think it'll be one of theirs that they put out around Thanksgiving, so it'll be early.
Oh,
I don't know if it'll be like. Usually they start them like the Thursday or the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and they go through like Thanksgiving weekend. I think it'll be somewhere in there.
Awesome.
So yeah, it'll be soon. We're trying to turn it. I actually just when we were looking at our emails, I'm like, oh, I've got a new cut of the episode. I've got to go edit the movie. But yeah, then we're gonna color time it and put the sound to it and get it out there in late November. So you guys can watch it on Lifetime. Santa Bootcamp with Emily Kinney, with Rita Moreno. We got John Shuck. We've got Justin Gaston. We've got Marissa Jarrett Winokur. I mean, just fun, fabulous cast. It looks beautiful. You did an amazing job in it.
Thank you.
You're so funny. There's so much good physical comedy in it too, which was so fun because we don't really get to do that a lot in Christmas movies.
Yes.
But hoping it gets to all stay in there because the movie is about 19 minutes long right now. So there's 19 minutes of movie we shot that we're going to have to get rid of.
Ew.
I'm trying to save like a long version so the people at home can see that eventually, but...
And we also need you to check out Emily's music.
Oh, yes. You can get it on Spotify. Actually, my manager did tell me right before. My music manager was like, make sure to tell them to follow me on Spotify. Because also I do, not just for my music, but I'll do like playlists of stuff I like. So it's kind of going along with our things we're into.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to know what music I'm listening to.
Are you on Cameo?
I'm not on Cameo.
Oh, you should do Cameo.
Yeah, I've been getting maybe I should.
I actually have 3 I have to do today. That's one of my applications on here. I have 3 Cameos.
Anything else you want to promote while you're here?
Yeah, just I'll probably play some shows in LA, and I'll have a new album out next year.
Wait, what's your latest album out, though?
My latest album is called The Supporting Character, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you get your music, you can find it. And then I'll be kind of gearing up for another new album next year. So
you're writing that music now?
Well, it's already finished.
Oh,
it's actually completely done. It's the only thing left to do is more like the artwork.
What did you have a title for it?
Yeah, it's called Swim Team.
Oh, okay.
Fun. And it's kind of I guess it's more of like a breakup album. My last album was a little more about like my life as an artist and sort of like my connection with God and things like that. And this one is kind of more back to my topics. Is more about like breakup and yeah. So
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, or it's a fun one.
Great.
We're so excited for you. I can't wait to see what comes next. You'll have to come back because your life is constantly evolving, it seems.
Yeah, I feel like every week is something I learned. I feel like during the pandemic is just like I just kind of feel like I go like a little bit week to week now, and
so,
very cool.
Yeah, I get that. All right, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us here at What Women Binge.
Can you do us a favor and give us an Apple Podcast review? It helps a lot.
Yeah, and while you're at it, you can follow What Women Binge on Instagram.
And follow me on Instagram at Amanda WWB.
If you like listening to the podcast, you would love seeing it. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Melissa Joan Hart Official for full episodes, bonus content, and so much more. What Women Binge is produced by Laugh-O-Gram Studios. Our wonderful theme song was written and produced by my cute husband, Mark Wilkerson. Video production by Matt Giesler and Jay Hawley. Audio by Matt Lott. Production assistant Jen Best. And she is the best. What Women Binge is distributed by Podcast Heat. For more information, visit podcastheat.com. Do you have a question or a comment or a topic you want to suggest for the show? Well, we are listening. Email us at wwbquestions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.